Hello, everybody. What's up? This is Killich. We are back with another exciting video. So with that said, stay tuned. We will be right back. We are back at it, yes and no. It's been a good while now since the new year. I would be doing you guys a disservice if I just stopped all production and haven't gotten back to you guys. I'll be honest with you guys. I've been waiting for exciting news, namely the patch to correct the PAX issue, and we just have not gotten there. The bug was introduced December 19th of last year, and although there was the holidays in the way of things and the developers did turn the packs back on temporarily for a few days there, then they were shut down. Fast forward into the new year. I forget I think it was last week that they turned the packs back on briefly and then they shut them back down so that people could open their packs. I still haven't opened my packs because I'm waiting for the patch update. I don't want to open my packs until we get the patch. Unfortunately, this is where we're at. This is a bad side of the development process. And I want to see the game succeed just as much as everybody else that's been enjoying this game. It's early stages and they got to do their thing. They need their time to work on the game. I get it. I've been waiting strictly because, as a gamer myself, I want to be able to open my packs and I want to see the game patched and I want to see it worked on. However, as a fan myself, I feel a bit let down. I wouldn't say that they're letting us down in the sense of what they're doing is wrong. I think they're doing a tremendous job. Let's get that out of the way. The transparency hasn't been, I believe, what we were promised. And the reason I say that is because, and not to point any fingers, but we were told that, there would be weekly updates. And regardless that there was the holiday break, we've had plenty more weeks in between then where we haven't seen any patches. We haven't seen any real updates. We've been getting, tidbits of videos of things that they've been working on, like, weather. They've been working on new animations, and that stuff's great. I love that content. But the monkey in the room is we've been waiting, wondering what's going on. It's been over a month and we haven't gotten anything other than, we're working on it, and I get it. They're working. Everybody's wondering. We have to address that. I would be doing you guys a disservice if I hadn't gotten back to you guys. I'm concerned. Then again, it doesn't surprise me where we're at. I'm waiting for it. I'm excited for what the future holds with this game, but at the same time, we know that there's an issue, a major issue with the game, and it is taking them extra time. Now, how we got here, my concern is that there hasn't been enough transparency in that regard. It's just we're working on it, and no one can voice their opinions. Let's not talk about it because we know that they're working on it, and that's all we can do is just wait. So everybody's waiting, and we get that. At the same time, there needs to be a little bit of transparency. Now, we know that it was an issue with PlayFab. So we have gotten little tidbits here that PlayFab, I guess, there was a bottleneck somewhere, but we didn't know the extent of that. At least I had assumed it was all on PlayFab, but apparently that's not the case. The news today is that Luke had put out a message yesterday that the team is working on a fix. It requires an overhaul of the back-end system. This is the first time that we've been told this, and I don't know at what point, did they realize that it's their back-end system in the game that's not communicating with PlayFab correctly, I guess, is my assumption. I could be wrong. Based off of this statement, they got to rebuild the back-end system. He says it's an overhaul. It's basically like, let's replant the tree and work our way back up from ground zero. It's... This is a major, major setback, and this is going to snowball, all of the things that they're working on or planning on doing. I think it's going to even impact, I can only assume it would impact a delay for what they're trying to do is get this game on PS5. I just don't see that happening with this big of a problem because there's no way they could release a PS5 version if they have to do a complete overhaul on the back end of the system. It's just not going to happen. This particular problem, it's going to snowball everything that they're working on. Anything that they're working on, future animations, weather, any game updates, this basically has caused a complete stonewall, for the entire future at the moment until they get this patch, this backend system fixed. We're not going to see any updates. I don't fault them. This isn't the blame game. It's just us as fans and players, the gamers that are looking forward to this, being able to play this game, with a patch or a fix in tow, because, we have players that play either Dynasty, and then there's players that play MPL, which is, the maximum pro league. Really, you can't play pro league. You just can't. It's completely dead because you can't open packs. You can't work on your rosters. It's impossible right now until they get this patched. So from a transparency point, and everybody's just been waiting, and it's just been a huge Debbie Downer because, this bug has been out there since the 19th of December, and it is now January 25th. And we still, all we know now is we know it's the back end of the system has to be overhauled. This is like, the Green Goblin, saying we got to go back to formula and Spider-Man, and we got to retool this thing from the ground up. It's just, it's sad. It is what it is. It's part of the development process. I totally get it. But from a fan standpoint, the game has been released as an early access. Yes, we know it's early access. We know there's going to be bugs, but this is more than a bug. This is massive. And without a fix in place for this right now, the game is dead. So we're going to take a look at what I'm talking about here. We're looking at the Steam charts. This just has to be talked about. Back when the game initially released on early access, they had almost 800 people, playing the game. And ever since then, it's just slowly been going down. Then we come to December, 19th, when they released the new patch. It bumped up a little bit, but not much. And even since then, PAX bug was introduced, was with that patch. It's just been slowly coming down. And then, there was a little spike after the holidays, really. There was a little spike there, at Christmas when they turned the PAX back on. But it wasn't much. I don't know what the Xbox player base is, but just looking at the Steam charts, it doesn't look good. I mean, you can see right now there's only a little over 60 people playing the game right now. So and that's just the people that really want to see the game succeed. And I'm right there with them. It's just been, it hasn't looked good. The charts don't lie. The numbers don't lie. This is really bad for the game where it stands right now. Now, that's not to say it can't make a return. I believe it can, but we have to get the game fixed. And unfortunately, this is what it is, and we have to wait and see what's going to happen. There's no definitive answer at this point. I mean, they've got almost 6,000 followers, so there is a market for this game. But they're not even scratching the surface of it yet, because the game's not even playable. I mean, unless you just want to play Dynasty only, but that's just is where it is. It's unfortunate. This is the side of the industry that these things are going to happen, but it's better that it happens now ahead of time, like early on in the game's life cycle, that we go through this overhaul. So it's better that we get this overhaul now to begin with, rather than have to deal with that at a later time. So I do agree that, it needs to be done now. But the transparency is what bothers me, because I've been leaving all of you guys, hanging by a thread here, waiting, I mean, I should be putting out videos, and I've just been at a standstill because I got nothing for you guys. I mean, there have been little tidbits here and there. There's, I could talk about, all the little things they've been showing us, like the weather and all that stuff. I want to offer something that nobody else offers. And that's, hopefully is to talk about these topics is just, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but I do support the game. I love what the developers are doing. And I know it's got great potential. It's got really great potential, but it's just not there yet. And in the meantime, everybody's wondering, when are we getting the patch? When are we getting the patch? And if you go on the Discord, it's really like, you got to shut up about it. We can't talk about it because, the developers are sick of hearing it. They hear it every day. When's the patch? When's the patch? When's the patch? I'm sure they're sick of hearing it. I would be if I was them. So I don't want to bother them all that much. And Micah has addressed the notion that he does hope that the patch will bring players back. And for that matter, I totally I'd be hoping for the same thing too. I think it's a great game. It's got great potential. I like where it's at, but it's got to work. It's got to function first. It's really sad that we're here now because, like I said, we still have no idea when this patch is coming. Unfortunately, this is where we're at, and we got to overhaul the base code of the game to get it to talk with the servers. Obviously they don't know when patch is going to drop. They don't know how long it's going to take. They know it's a serious problem. It's going to take a while, and that's really all we know. But how long is a while? In gamer terms, a while could be 3 days, because that's what people expect with a big AAA, company that, oh, there's a bug in the game. And then 3 days later, it's fixed with a hot fix. This unfortunately it's not gonna get hot fixed. It just can't. It's too big of a problem. The holidays didn't help with that, but at the same time, if you're committing to weekly updates, give us something. Give us the update. Just be transparent. Just tell us, hey, this is bigger than we thought it was going to be, and we're sorry that we will not be able to give you guys weekly updates. That's what I would have hoped for. Is just be real about it, be upfront, and just tell us like, hey, this is bigger than we were aware. We don't even know when we can get this game fixed, and maybe put that maybe change the roadmap, because they, mind you, this is going to affect the roadmap too, where they put the roadmap and they set it for a 6-month roadmap plan. Like, hey, this is what we're planning to do in the next 6 months. And we're already a month into that roadmap and we got nothing, So it just is what it is. And I think they really need to change the roadmap to maybe make it more realistic. Like, because of this overhaul, the 6-month roadmap plan is going to have to be a yearly roadmap plan. This overhaul is pushing us back, and that's what I would hope for, is just a little bit more transparency along those lines, because yeah, it's great that they're on Discord, and yeah, it's great we can submit, our ideas for new features in the game and we can give our feedback, but we don't want to beat them up over the head. Let them cook, as other people saying, let them cook, let them do their thing, let them work on the game, because we're just bugging them constantly. But at the same time, they're the ones making the game for us, and we depend on them to give us, be transparent and let us know what's going on, because they've overcommitted to weekly updates, and we haven't seen a weekly update. It's been over a month since we got the last patch. So clearly state, hey, we're going to give you guys weekly updates. Is it a Twitter announcement that, oh, we're working on this animation? Is that the update that we should be expecting, or are we expecting weekly patches? I think they need to clarify that, because I think as gamers we expect more. We expect like from a big AAA company that hey, we're doing this and we're doing that and this is what's coming. I mean, we already we already know that EA is working on year 2026. So it's like, what are we doing with this game? It's just it's mind-boggling that we're at this point right now, because I mean, with only 60 people playing the game right now, and that's probably really that's only Dynasty players, because you can't play anything else. Obviously you can sit there and create teams, and that's great. We can still work on team creation in the meantime, but how long do you think we can sustain working on teams if we're not Dynasty players and we're just waiting on the game to get patched? Because people want to play each other. People want to play multiplayer. This is snowballed everything that they're working towards, and it's just put a huge dent in their transparency because of where we're at. They don't know. They don't have anything because this is a bigger problem. I would love to see the game get patched by next month. But the reality is we may not even see the game patched for 2 or 3 months. We don't know. There's no timeline. There's no ETA. It's just hurting the player base right now because, you know, you've got a game that's released as early access and it's not playable. At least multiplayer isn't. So it's, you know, all you can do is Dynasty and great teams. That's all you can do. It's going to take them longer. It's going to take them more time. And that's the roadmap has to be pushed back because it's just they can't commit to the roadmap. They can't even give us a patch, you know, every week. It's been over a month. The team is working on other stuff. They're working on animations. They're working on tackles. They're working on weather. They're working on the helmets. But they were working on the helmets long ago. There was an old video that showed, you know, that they re-showed. That's been in the works for a long time. So, hey, let's just throw some things out there. These are the things that we have going on that we're working on outside of getting the game patched for the MPL. It just is what it is, and I'd be doing you guys a disservice if we didn't discuss this. This is, you know, I don't even know what to tell you guys because it's bad news. And I've been trying, that's a big reason why I haven't pushed out any more videos, the promises of what's coming in the future, because it's like, you know, if we don't have a working game, then what are we talking about? We can't even discuss the game really because there's no game to play. There's no multiplayer. It's dead. And unfortunately, that's what it is. I don't even know what I'm doing with this channel anymore because I can't. I don't have any good news for you guys on this game. I mean, I want to see it succeed, but there's no development. There's nothing released, should I say? Let me rephrase that. There's been no patch since the bug. We're being fed what they're working on, but it's not getting us. I mean, unfortunately, the game's just not playable with this bug. It's just not. And, you know, the numbers prove it that, you know, the game is dying. I guess you could really say it's dead, period. It died a long time ago. And, as according to these numbers anyway, this doesn't tell the whole story because, you know, you've got Microsoft Xbox players thrown into this, and I'm sure they're wondering, I mean, they got a preview of the game. So, and I guess they could release the same preview that, you know, is on Xbox to PS5, but that would be the only thing that they could do if they are going to, you know, release PS5 anytime soon. But I have to think that the PS5 is going to be delayed because of this major bug, because it's requiring a complete overhaul. It would just baffle me if they were to release the same preview that's on Xbox over to PS5 at this point. I think they would want to just wait until the bug is patched. It's finally fixed, and it's fixed for the long haul of the game before they push it out on PS5. Now, I'm not a PS5 player, but so it doesn't affect me, but you know, it affects all of the PlayStation players out there, you know, because I know they've been asking, you know, when's it coming on PlayStation? And we don't know. Honestly, I mean, they've committed to sometime in 2025 is all we know. There's no guarantee it's coming anytime soon. It's harder for them to release on PlayStation 5 as well. So there's that thrown into the mix. But at the same time, I can't imagine them even having the time to entertain it being on PlayStation right now with this major bug. You know, they have to overhaul the game. You know, I don't know how long it's going to take. It may take them 2 or 3 months. I have no clue how long it's going to take them to finally get this overhaul done. I know they're rushing to do it, but you know, I'd rather them take 2 or 3 months, you know, and get the game corrected. You know, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But it's going to snowball everything else. I mean, we've got the season that they released in the middle of things, and there's no possible way that we can even complete the season as is unless, you know, people were getting extra XP, you know, a glitch in the game. That would have been the only way. But currently, you know, if you're doing all your dailies and all your XP for the season pass, there's just no way you'll be able to complete it. and I've already gone through it with a fine tooth and comb. It's just not looking good for the state of the game right now as far as the player base goes. And I really would love to see them patch the game at some point within the next couple of months, start to recover from this. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And, that's just where it is. It's just, there's no getting around it. Now, moving forward, what does this mean for the channel? Because this is what I chose to cover as, the game that I enjoy. And, this is the content I wanted to share with you guys is what I'm experiencing with the game. I've got other things going on. I'm sitting there right with all of you wondering what's going on with the game. When is this patch coming? And we just don't know. All we know is that the game's got to get overhauled. That's all we know right now. And that's more than we knew a couple weeks ago. The player base it looks like it's kind of still declining, unfortunately. We're already down to 60 people, and pretty soon we're going to be able to count the amount of people on our fingers, because it's the state of the game right now. It's been on the decline, and it doesn't look like it's recovering until that patch is coming. So I hope that it recovers. I think it can recover, but it's unfortunately in gamer terms, people tend to gravitate to other games. Other games come out, people want to play those games, they jump. So, everybody that's on board with this game may love it, but I just don't know what to tell you guys as far as where I'm going with the channel right now, because what I've built this channel on is based on Maximum Football, and I don't know what to tell you guys anymore at this point, because there's no end in sight. We don't know when the patch is coming. We just don't know. So as far as the future of this channel, I'm considering, covering some different games. If you guys would like me to cover different games, please let me know down in the comments. Please let me know. I mean, any thoughts, really. Just, I don't get many comments on this channel, so we've got little bits of information like here's the weather, but anybody can go on there and look at we're getting the feed, as far as what they're planning to work on or what they're planning to bring us, but until they actually release it, then it doesn't really mean much, because the game is unplayable from a multiplayer standpoint. So, until that day comes where the game's fixed, I don't know what to give you guys in the meantime. And, I'm at a loss, because, even football season's over. I mean, we could talk about some football. If you guys want me to talk football, I mean, I'm a Chargers fan. I mean, obviously I'm wearing the hat. My team's done. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are done. I mean, we're down to the playoffs. We got the conference playoffs now, and that's coming tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But my team's out of the race, so there's not really a whole lot for me to even talk about. I mean, I could give you my predictions as far as who I think could win the Super Bowl or whatever. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about, because I just don't know what kind of content you guys would like to see. And it's hard to gauge that when I don't hear from you guys. So, I'm just kind of going off on a limb here that, I can't really give you guys anything more on Maximum Football until there's a patch. And that's really what this video is about, is just trying to connect with you guys. Seeing what content do you guys want me to cover? Is it a different game? Do you want me to? I mean, I used to play Guild Wars 2 was my go-to game for like 7 years. Great game, I love it. But I think there's other games. I think there was another game. I think it was called Aloft. I think I have to look it up. There was another game that I was looking at. I was checking that out, and I was my curiosity was piqued maybe to play that. So I don't know if maybe you guys are interested in content for me to play something else, or just talk some football, or maybe talk some music stuff. I'm not exactly sure what you guys would like to see out of this channel, but I would love to hear from you guys. Get your thoughts and inputs. I know this has been a long video already, and I apologize for that, but I just had to get my thoughts out here, and it just is what it is. It's unfortunate about Maximum Football. I wish I could bring you guys. I wish I had something real for you guys. I wish I had real content to cover, but I just, it's just, I don't feel like I can really give you guys anything concrete because we have no official fix on the game, and it's being overhauled. That's all we know. And I think it's unfair to the players that have been waiting for this game to get fixed, and it's just been dead. It's dying. And until the game's patched, there's no multiplayer whatsoever. It just is what it is. I mean, we could talk some Dynasty in the game, but I feel like that's nitpicked to death. I mean, everybody's playing Dynasty because that's all there is right now. We could talk, the future of the game and where they're going with it, but I feel like it's kind of like beating a dead horse. The game is dead, and unfortunately, until it's been revived with a patch to be able to go back and play some multiplayer. And look, they're coming out with this they introduced an idea called maximum justice, where basically players get penalized for bad sportsmanship, but that's multiplayer. So until the game is patched where we can play multiplayer again, maybe, I can only assume that the maximum justice is probably something that they're going to be trying to get into the game when this game gets patched. So it's getting overhauled, and it's probably, my guess, my gut instinct tells me that the overhaul probably will include maximum justice, the whole sportsmanship thing, because they've had a lot of reports about players using exploits and cheating to stay on the leaderboards for multiplayer. So, maybe that's the silver lining in this, is that, they are doing the overhaul not just to patch the game, but also to bring maximum justice into the game as a, you get penalized, and basically you'll get removed from the leaderboard if you are exploiting all the exploits and just trying to win every game and, cheat every time, cheat. Me personally, I'd rather play with friends once they have, where you can play your friends and stuff and link up with friends, or just be able to make friends in the lobby. I would love to play you guys and just shoot the crap. I don't care if I want to lose. I just want the game to be fair. And, fumbles, this game is fumbleitis. And that's another problem that I have with the game. That's not anything to do with the players. That is just totally on the development of the game. It's just, you try to run the ball and carrying a banana because the banana's all over the freaking field. And it's just funny, man. And so until the multiplayer comes back and we have the maximum justice and, we can actually play multiplayer correctly, I'm going to have to start playing something else, or just keep my focus on music, or let's just talk some football. I'd love to talk some football with you guys. So it's more about what you guys want to see. So if you guys want to see me make some content about, let's talk football, or maybe even both, let's play another game and talk some football or whatever. I just wanted to be real with you guys and be transparent as far as what's going on with me. And, I've been waiting for Maximum Football to do something. It's like, that little, that little cartoon of the dude, poking the ground and just like, do something, and it's not happening. It's just like, we're just poking a dead doornail. It's just, I don't know what to tell you guys. There's no real update on the game. There's plans, and there's their future, and there's the roadmap, and that's stuff that's being discussed all the time on the Discord. It's just, there's no players. There's no people playing the game. I mean, 60 people is not what I would call a player base. I don't think they can sustain from a business standpoint. I mean, they have to answer to their parent company. I don't know what the future means, with this whole issue, because they got a boss. The developers have a boss, and they have to provide content on this game. And with these types of numbers, the player base just dwindling, this is really bad news from from the boss's standpoint. Like, what's, as far as sales go, sales will dictate the life of a game. If, sales are going downhill, I mean, you can't purchase packs, you can't even open them, so you can't make any micro purchases in the game. So how are they surviving off of 60 players? It doesn't make any bit of sense to me right now. So, it just is what it is. It's unfortunate. And I really would like to see this game succeed. I'd love it to make a comeback and see it return. And I'll be back here with you guys when that happens. But this might be a couple months down the road. I just don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. There's really no ETA. I know they'll definitely let us know when it's dropping. As soon as they know for sure, but they don't even know. They don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows at this point except the developers. And it's been pretty much tight-lipped. And it's just, we know they're working on stuff just as what it is. So in the meantime, we got to move on. We got to push on as a community for this channel. We have to push in a different direction. And I hate to be the bearer of that news, but it's kind of come to that point. Is I would like to, at least, release some video content for you guys. And I just don't have anything else. It's just, let's either play something else, or let's talk some football, or let's talk some music, or maybe all three. But drop a comment, please. Let me guys know what you guys think. I'm not here to bash the developers. That's not what this is about. This is more about, trying to figure out the future of this channel, because the unfortunate news is it just is what it is with the game. We got to move forward. So drop a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. And hopefully we'll move in another direction. So I will see you guys then. Peace.